Right, let's talk about having a team down to becoming a solopreneur and why there is a huge rise in solopreneurship. As a business coach for women who desire to grow and scale an online education business and with using messaging and content in order to grow, I'm telling you that you're going to see a lot of more people that are trying to grow a solopreneur business. And this is coming from somebody who has had a team, has paid a team, and now I'm running my business primarily on my own, with the exception of maybe different times where I need to, you know, do a launch or I have the campaign, like a marketing campaign, something like that, right? And then you're like, okay, let me just get someone to kind of help me with some emails or some design stuff, just little bitty stuff, right? But I just wanted to kind of put this out there because I think that the term solopreneur has a bad rap, but at the same time, you can see more and more influencers, business owners that are moving more towards that type of business model. And in this video, I'm definitely going to break it down as to why this may be a good idea for you. And if it's not, that's fine. If you love teams, please keep your teams. If not, then this is going to be a good video for you. So this is coming from someone who has, obviously multi six figure business owner. I've had a team before and it was great for a while until things started to kind of get a little slow or my nervous system started to act up a little bit. And these are things that you have to consistently work on when it comes down to capacity and reaching your upper limit and going past your upper limit, because obviously your nervous system will give out if you don't work on it. So a solopreneur, let's focus on what that is first. Like a solopreneur is someone who works in their business alone full time in their company. Okay. An entrepreneur is the same thing, but an entrepreneur is someone who has a business, who participates in the free market, and who is exchanging goods and services for currency or money. But the difference that I would say is probably the biggest thing with entrepreneurship versus, I'm sorry, solopreneur versus entrepreneurship is the fact that solopreneur is something that you're settled in and you're actually making a full-time income. Like you actually are building a business and you are seeing the revenue, you're seeing the profits, and everything is running on your behalf smoothly and with automations and things like that. So let's get into it. So HubSpot predicted that 3.6% increase in freelancer or solopreneur work. So we're going to see an uptick at people letting go of teams altogether. In fact, there are more and more solopreneurs that are coming up running multi-million-dollar businesses. I remember that the founder of ChatGPT talked about how it is absolutely going to be possible to run a $1 billion business as a solopreneur with AI, with automations. That's what I said, y'all. We are in the fourth industrial revolution, the age of intelligence, and it is imperative that people are learning, and you need to learn very innovative ways in order to grow these companies, because this is it. Like, this is it. So let's just go there. According to Statista, um, by 2027, I'm looking at my notes, and y'all know I don't edit my videos, okay? So this is all teaching, okay? By 2027, we're looking at an $86.5 million in revenue that is going to be like really, really moving into the entrepreneur, solopreneur space. So you have a chance to grow. You just have to grow right. You just have to grow right. So why is that? Why is that a thing right now? Number one, people are kind of tired of the corporate structure. I'm going to be honest with you. I am very anti-corporate. I'm not saying this from an emotional place. It's just one of my value systems. I worked in HR for almost 10 years. I used to recruit. I used to help with talent acquisition. And corporate drained the crap out of me. And then on top of that, managing teams and things like that. And then you had to depend on other people to keep your job. So managers, directors really had a hard time trying to motivate people and inspire people to keep going. And to be an effective leader, you always have to check yourself and all of that. But in your own business, like you can be you. You can have whatever personality you want to have, however you want to structure your business, but at the same time, you don't really have to worry about hiring people for the long haul, unless, like I said, you want to do like short-term ad hoc projects and just hire someone to help you with those pieces and then be able to let them go accordingly. Or you can run a simplified business model, such as like maybe digital courses or a membership or a group program, something like that, where people are coming into the spaces to be instructed or guided by you, but they're also getting resources from some type of course or something of that nature. That is a simplified model as long as you're not doing any manual stuff. Like our business is completely automated down to the delivery of the product, being added to our email list. Like everything is completely like 1, 2, 3. Also, the next thing is decreased responsibility. I touched on this a little bit earlier, but I'm being serious. You can decrease a lot of responsibility when you're not relying so much on someone else to do the work that you want them to do, and that you are ready to move forward. And I'm going to be honest, like entrepreneurs, solopreneurs specifically, we kind of have some control issues. And I think we just need to lean into that. And a lot of people talk about solopreneurs like, oh, you need to learn how to trust people. You need to learn how to let stuff go. And I think when you're building a business per se, there is nothing wrong with working on those issues, but you're going to have to get to a place where you will have to trust someone else with the work that you want them to do, like an executive assistant. And I had one, she was so good. But I want to just tell you that if you don't want a whole lot of responsibility right now and you want to learn how to effectively run your business and get it to a certain point before you hire someone, because I'm one of those type of people. I strongly believe that you should hire when you have the cash flow. I do not believe in bringing someone on board where you can barely pay yourself. And because some people will say, like, just go ahead and hire. And you're like, oh, but look at my back end, like it's totally trash, or I don't have the bandwidth to stop what I'm doing to go and do these things. I think what needs to happen is that you need to learn skills. You need to learn your work, and you need to just hyper growth, get the cash in so that you can comfortably hire someone to do some things for you. Because what happens is that sometimes people hire before they're ready, and then they haven't developed the consistency, or they tend to think that just because they hire someone that, oh, I can just have them to do this and I'm just going to sit back. And they don't go the extra mile, and which results in them having to let them go because cash flow decreases and they get mad at themselves. They struggle to pay payroll, and this person is kind of like nervous system all over the place. So I would rather you hire someone when you have the cash to do so. I'm just saying. And these are things I teach in the Matriarch CEO coaching program. I never want to see women's nervous system go completely out the ball. I don't want to see that happen. And a lot of people will say things like, well, if you don't hire anybody, you run the risk of having a negative client onboarding experience, or just an online delivery experience. But I'm going to be honest with you. I think with AI and automations being a part of the equation when it comes down to online business and your business model, I do believe that there is a high likely chance that you can create a fully automated business that delivers emails. Like, for example, when people sign on, like I use HoneyBook for my contracts and things like that. And I have everything automated from contract to invoice to checklists and things of that nature. Client, onboarding questionnaire. Like these things are already in the system and they go out accordingly. And every quarter or so, I would say is that I get into the system and I just update things, maybe do a little revision, but it's not a lot, but just enough to just kind of check on things and make sure everything's running smoothly because expansion is possible. So you have to make sure that things are still going on your behalf. So also, the next thing I want to talk about too is more profit. Another, I just hate to talk about this, but it's the truth. When you have a large team and you're really not bringing in the revenue that you want, they're eating up your profits. And obviously, to grow a business, you have to show that you're profitable in your company so that IRS won't, think you're just running a hobby. Like you literally have to show profits. And it's also great to show revenue and the profits, of course, because you may want capital loans or business credit or something like that, because you have to show proof now. And you can get business credit without, accessing personal credit. Like Honeybook offers capital loans, Stripe offers capital loans. Like there's so many other payment processors that offer this. But if you are like it's eating up all your profits by having to pay a team that you barely can afford, then I would strongly recommend that you look at solopreneurship as an option. And then next is flexibility. Like with a team, you have to be available. They may have questions. And even though, yes, your team kind of goes into your, client database and they help you with certain client problems, whether it's the administrative part, data part, even coaching, if you're a coach, consulting or being an um analyst for your agency, whatever it is that you need to do, even sales, you have to think about your own flexibility because there's some times when you're going to want to be a digital nomad, if you want to travel all over the world, if you want to take a day off and just plan for that and just let your clients know that today you're going to be kind of stepping back from the office, but if they need you, they can email a certain email address or they can contact you however you want to put that, right? But you want flexibility in your business. And if something happens where a client is saying, I mean, I'm not a client, a team member is saying, oh, well, I can't do this, or I need to log into this. Can you please help me with that? And it gets a little annoying sometimes because you're like, I want to go to sleep. I want to, take off, or I want to research this, or I want to go to a seminar, I want to go to a conference. So you have to really think about the flexibility of what you desire in your business. And of course, these things you're going to be filling it out, trying to see what works for you. Some people love it. They love the team. They love to be able to trust someone with their business and things of that nature. But I also want you to think about your own business and what you desire for your own life. Okay. And then last but not least, I've already mentioned this several times, but automations with being a solopreneur, please make sure your automations are on point. And you're going to be filling it out, especially when you soar or increase to 10K months. But then after around 15 to 20, you can afford, hopefully you can afford more sophisticated systems that can help you with navigating the entire process from onboarding or sales, lead generation, all the way to offboarding. You want to be able to show that you can fully automate your company. And it really does speak to the client experience. And you really want to just consistently make sure that your automations are on point. One of the things that I think with my business is that it's a refining process. You want to make sure that as you expand along with the times, that things are growing, things are flowing, but you also need to make sure that your automations are supporting you. What kind of business do you want and build it accordingly? So in my business, we have Scan Store, which are digital products, and then we have Member Vault that houses our curriculum for the daily payday system. You can look in the link in the description box, look at all of what we offer. Member Vault, we house our program curriculum. And then I have Honeybook, which houses our coaching program, container contracts. It's like a CRM, obviously. And that's where we really just manage our client data. So Stand Store is more of our email marketing, building relationships with our customers, taking payments for our digital courses and programs and things of that nature. But HoneyBook is definitely handling the large scale or the high level programs. But I just wanted to kind of put that out there that your automations really need to be on point. If we're doing any automations, it's mostly email that we're doing. And then even still, like I have a cold email sequence that is running. I have two of them that are running. I just download a list, upload it to the system, and the system takes care of my automations and we just respond accordingly. So solopreneurship is absolutely possible. It's just the fact of the matter. You have to find your own groove. You got to find your own way. And once you find your groove and you find your lane, you're going to find yourself like, wow, this does feel good that I don't have to spend so much time doing manual things or I have to go and pay someone else. I can just create. And I think that's the thing too, is that women were so good at creating. Like if I want to create an ebook or if I want to like start conversations with people, I don't have to worry about all this administrative stuff and back end and all of that. It's already done. You just have to set time to the side to just get it done. And once you get it done, you got to do no more until you're ready to do it again. So just get it done, take the time out to make it happen and move on to something else. So I hope this video helped you. Definitely feel free to subscribe. Feel free to send this video to someone who you believe would benefit from this. And also in the comment section below, tell me about your venture and your journey as a solopreneur, if you are one, and if you have any questions, and I can do an additional video explaining and answering those questions. So thank y'all so much for being a part of this conversation. I can't wait to read all that you have to say. Until the next time, it's Coach Jay. Have a great rest of your week.